Hey there. Just wanted to put a video real quick about being the example. Um, it seems like our world's falling apart and the news isn't always good. Um, Whatever's going on out there, people tend to struggle, but they also own stuff that's not theirs to own. I would argue that you don't own the economy, you don't own the news, you own what you do, and you own what the impact of that has on your family and you. You own your daily activities. You own the life you live. You own the career you have. You own the family you have. You own you. And you can only control that. So, with all the negative stuff going on out there, plus maybe you are not happy with where you're at. If you are, congratulations. Keep up the great work. If you're not, then you have to do some self reflection. Um, Lately, the last couple of days, I found out that a guy named Bob Proctor passed away, and Bob Proctor was all about guiding and mentoring and challenging you on your paradigm, law of attraction, the secret, all that stuff. But he was trying to get you to look inside to the kind of person that you are and what makes you happy, where you're going. Um, in the news lately, it seems like Joe Rogan, who I've watched podcasts several times. I actually like the guy. I've never met him before, but he seems like a pretty straight up guy. He doesn't take what you say for God's law. He'll do his own research and he figures out what he believes, and he's not afraid to challenge the status quo, which I dig about him. But he said some things in the interview, some curiosity stuff, and just had a genuine interview. And then he apparently got picked up saying some stuff that he probably shouldn't have said. And he comes out later and he apologizes, which I saw that video and I couldn't. I was like, okay, I forgive him. I don't have an issue with the guy. I think we all make mistakes. But more importantly, what I wanted to suggest or to emphasize is you control yourself. The outside circumstances don't control you. You control you. You control your decisions. You control your behaviors. You control your attitude. So if there's something that's not going on, you have to be the example. You have to lead the example. I talked about leadership in my previous videos and what it means and where your life's going, but you have to be your own example. You have to set the tone for others to follow. If you're just going to use words and talk, it's not enough. You make a mistake, say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake," and I move on. It's heartfelt, it's genuine, but it's displaying the kind of person you want to be, but it's also displaying the kind of person you want others to be around you. If everybody's yelling and you're not yelling, guess what's going to happen? They're going to have to calm down and listen because you're not instigating or escalating the situation even more. It's just like when you're happy, if you're the one laughing, people are going to laugh around you because you're laughing. They want to be a piece of that happiness. And a law of attraction talks about that is, you attract the people around you based on what you give out. If you give out negativity, you're probably going to be alone a lot. If you give out positivity, you're going to be attracted to people that want to be a positive person. So be the example for the kind of person, the kind of life you want to live. If you have kids, you have to definitely be an example for what you want them to emulate when they get older. Someday they're going to be going on their own, and you want to have this time to help them be successful. So rather than judging somebody, rather than pointing the finger and saying, they did it to me or I expected them to do that, maybe you didn't do enough. Maybe that's what it comes down to is maybe you didn't do enough to communicate what you were going through. And don't let somebody else decide whether you're going to be happy or not. You have to be happy inside. So, as a mentor, as an investor, and as a business owner, Jody and I, we own a few companies. I can tell you it's hard. It's not easy. It's very difficult. I think when you start to get to the point of where you're successful, I think that's when people start tearing you down, not because you're a bad person, it's because you're making them feel like they're not doing enough for their own happiness. But again, it comes down to being the example. It's learning what you don't know to make yourself better off, and then it's paying it forward by helping somebody else achieve the goals that they want when they don't know. I didn't know half the stuff I knew that I know now, even going to college and graduating. I did a lot of self-learning on my own and mentoring off of folks that were doing what I wanted to do. So my message is, if you're not happy, you've got to look internally. You've got to be the example. Quit judging people. And if you're successful, more power to you. If you're not, then find some mentor that can help you get there. But be the example for your friends, your family, your kids, yourself, instead of trying to say, I'm being held back, or I can't make enough money, or this job's terrible, whatever. Those jobs that you have are vehicles to get you where you want to go. You start out and you're not making a ton of money because the job doesn't pay a ton, because you don't bring a ton to the marketplace. You've got to bring a bunch. And as you get educated and as you get more skills and you can do more, you're going to get paid more. That's the way it works. It's not a given to pay somebody a bunch of money an hour that doesn't have any skills. That's not fair, because then everybody else is going to want to get their due. And then pretty soon you're right back to where you started, where you're making more than you ever had before, but everybody else is making exponentially more because that's what they do. And now everything costs more, but you're going to reset back to where you were in the beginning, only everybody's making a little bit more money. But realistically, you're not making more money. You're just not. So if you want more money, you have to improve your skills. You have to have more marketable skills to do a higher level job. That's just the way it is. So be the example. If you're not happy, look internally to find out what makes you happy. Well, I wanted to share those thoughts, get that off my chest, to share with you what I learned, because I try to pay forward as much as I can and give you tidbits for your success. But I want to appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, make a comment if you want, and or like, and appreciate you watching. And we will see you again with another video. As I always try to do, is pay it forward with information that I learned. But be the example. Don't judge, but be the example, and strive don't change who you are, but make yourself better. Be a great you every single day. Have a great day.